DemocracyKit. We'll have Riley Peterson and Micah Richardson presenting. Good Twitter handles right here. Just pull up the presentation. Hi guys, how's it going?
Great.
Yeah. Thank you for coming out on a sunny, beautiful Tuesday night where you're inside. But thank you for coming. Yeah, we're excited to kind of update you guys because I know a lot of you who are regular Civic Tech goers have been following along with us, and we've presented back in February. But we've launched since, which is really exciting. So we're excited to kind of take you through what's happened since. And yeah, this is Riley.
Hi, I'm Riley. So I got involved in DemocracyKit in, sorry. It's not good.
You're so short.
Thanks. I got involved in DemocracyKit in, I think, October. And I guess I got involved in politics in 2014 because, like a lot of people, I was glued to all the things happening with Rob Ford, and I was in grade 10, so I needed my volunteer hours. And I was like, hey, maybe I should stop watching this on the news and like go get involved in my neighborhood or something. So I joined a municipal campaign, and from that I've been really passionate about how more youth, specifically high school age youth, can get involved in municipal campaigns because you build a really transferable skill set. So that's why I'm involved with DemocracyKit.
Awesome. Yeah. And just a bit about myself. I, like many people, was watching the election happening to the south of us with a shocked and open mouth. So I kind of decided to get up and go join the circus. So I joined the Hillary campaign back in August and worked in New Hampshire for the Democratic Party for 3 months. And we won. It was amazing. Hillary is president, and everything is Hillary is not president. Donald Trump is president. And so I came back with a pretty renewed sense of purpose, having seen that, with wanting to get as many people involved in politics as I possibly could. And that brings us to DemocracyKit.
Yeah, so I know, like Micah kind of said, a lot of people are kind of familiar with.
Can everyone hear?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah?
okay.
Okay, cool. A lot of you are kind of familiar with DemocracyKit because we've been working alongside the Civic Tech community. But just for new people, we'll kind of go over what DemocracyKit is. So every election cycle is a huge undertaking. Thousands of campaign teams across the province build the infrastructure. They mobilize their communities, and they do this on a shoestring budget. So for most candidates, especially new candidates, they don't have access to a lot of resources. There's no college course that teaches you how to run a campaign or how to work on a campaign. There's no party infrastructure, and there's very little resources online. So DemocracyKit is an online resource that equips people who are interested in running for office or who want to work on a campaign with the tools to do so.
Yeah. And so, like she said, it focuses on council races and school board races because there's no party infrastructure. There's no. It's extremely hard to unseat incumbents. In Toronto, in the last election, there was one challenger who beat an incumbent. One. So that's where you get the 92% incumbency rate from the 3 largest cities, and you get this huge gender gap. And it's that's in the 3 largest cities. So you'd think it'd be more progressive, you'd get more women in there. No, and across the board, rural cities, councils are about 75% men and 25% women. So it's just, you have councillors staying in there for 20, 30 years. So we are here to address this problem. These are different campaign schools. There are various organizations that offer campaign schools to train councillors, train candidates. There's Equal Voice, which focuses on women, and there's Springtide Collective of the East, labor councils, ask her. That picture is our co-founder, Chris Copperthwaite. He is out in Calgary right now. That's where that picture was taken. They have a municipal election, which is happening right now, which is super exciting and super fun that he's out there to kind of be right in the action. So yeah, is there anything else on that? So,
what if the tens of thousands of campaigns that are ran each cycle could share resources and meet each other? What if there were an open community to maintain the platform and grow the community? That is where the Open Democracy Project comes in. So the Open Democracy Project is basically the community that is publishing DemocracyKit. So it's a not-for-profit startup working to open the democratic process by publishing a shared campaign resource package, which is DemocracyKit, and it's the community.
Yeah. The Open Democracy Project is really the people who formed. We had a crowdfunding campaign in the fall, which most of you are aware of, and some of you contributed to, which we're super thankful. And we surpassed the budget with the goal of launching version 1 of the kit in spring 2017, which we just did on April 25th, which was a Tuesday, so most of you probably couldn't meet it or be there, but just launched. There we are. So yeah, and I just want to say a bit about municipal politics really quickly, just because they're extremely important. Municipal politics is the ground floor of our democracy, and I personally love it because when you get so frustrated by reading the news, you get so frustrated by kind of what's happening out in the world, like climate change, electoral reform, all of these issues that seem so huge that you can't do anything about it. You can do something about it in your local community, in your cities. Like if you were, like me, a little frustrated with the Liberal government not passing electoral reform, London, my hometown, just passed electoral reform in the city. So now they have a ranked ballot, which is exciting. It's exciting for me, not for some people. But yeah, so you can address climate change, like bike paths. That's addressing climate change. You can address these things in your community. So yeah. So we have a group. Obviously, we have our first kind of chapter. We just formalized a chapter executive to curate the Democracy Kit and do a bunch of other stuff. And we have a group of volunteers in Ottawa and Calgary. Like I said, our co-founder Chris is out there and training and on the ground with campaigns, which is super exciting. And then we really are focusing on youth in politics, women in politics, and diversity in politics, because again, we're trying to level the playing field, make it easier, lessen the advantage that political insiders enjoy. Awesome.
So as you can see, during the winter, we were focused on developing our content after we did our fundraising drive in the fall. So this was like getting things ready to publish on the website, getting contributions for things to publish on the website. And then, like Micah said, we launched in May. So yeah, we have resources on the site right now, which Micah will take you through more. So over the summer, we're going to be focusing on bringing the kit to local communities and supporting organizations that are using DemocracyKit. And then in September, we will be fundraising again so we can sustain the local chapter and
Yeah, and raise funds because we have a municipal election coming basically a year this fall, which is super exciting. So we really want to have the kit filled more and more out with the goal of having volunteers trained and more and more volunteers trained and working for campaigns, because we want to connect volunteers and aspiring campaigners with experienced campaigners and experienced campaigns. So this is our yearly calendar for the Open Democracy Project. There we are. All right, so I'm going to just quickly take you through the site that we just launched. So this is version 1. This is what we furiously worked towards and launched on April 25th. So here we go. So we got a search bar. you can, if you just like have a resource or topic that you, like women in politics say, we have videos here. You may remember Morgan Baskin. She's got a great video. And then a library of resources. We have external resources that we just have gathered and want to put in one place for you from all over the internet, because there's a lot of freely available resources. Yeah, so at the top we have the guide, that's the library, an orientation, a library, some videos, a forum, which we would love you to go on and post your questions, post problems, ways you can see for the site to be improved, and we'll answer them. And then here's the community, and then members. So we've kind of split up running a campaign into these 5 sections. We have exploring a run for office, building your team, creating a plan, choosing technology, and then run a campaign. And so all of those are kind of the modules. So we'll click on explore a run for office, and this kind of takes you through orientation. So we've got here, for example, a playlist with curated videos for you, with a bunch of different calendars, councillors, campaign managers, Morgan Baskin. And then we have our DemocracyKit map. This is how our modules are kind of split up. So go back there. Assessing a run for office. This is really important. It's like strengths. Some of you know the SWOT, the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. So how our site works is we've used Google Drive because it's free, and most everyone has a Google account. Almost everyone. Put up your hands if you have a Gmail account. Yeah, okay. So we made the right decision. Yeah. So all you need is a Google account. So you can click on the drive, and it'll bring up the self-assessment or the resource, which is super useful in, you can make a copy and just fill out the template yourself, because you can only comment on this. So yeah, it takes you through the self-assessment, and this was made by a campaign manager, Ange Valentini, who's done a lot of campaigns. She's super experienced and very knowledgeable. So we've crowdsourced all of these resources from existing past campaigns and campaign managers. And then we have build your team, choose technology. Choose technology is coming soon. Chris is creating it because he's in the thick of it right now in the campaigns, and so he's seeing what they need and then building courses around there. So, so version 1, we've really got a lot of resources in these 3 areas: explore, run for office, build your team, create a plan. Over the summer and into the fall, we're really wanting to build out the choose technology and run a campaign. So, so again, I mentioned we are a fully volunteer team. We raised money. The Open Democracy Project is a volunteer community. So everything was crowdsourced. Everything was gotten from a campaign. So, and the idea is it's a platform where anyone can contribute. So we would love for everyone involved in campaigns to contribute onto the website. So you can, here's a profile. So we would love if you would go on and create a profile.
Super important.
Essential. And there you can see all my information. And then on the left, you can contribute articles, you can contribute videos, audio files, and the idea is also for campaigns to create profiles. And then they can post events and post exciting things that are happening that potential volunteers can maybe see and be like, oh, I want to check this out. And they can get some more volunteers.
And if you sign up for a profile, I bought a lot of buttons, so you can get a button.
Yeah, if you show us the profile, then we'll give you a button, because we have some really cool buttons. Mine says Open Politics.
Mine says Run for Office.
Cool. Awesome. So, I'll just go back into here. So what's next? So, like, as I mentioned, we're building up the courses, we're building up the trainings, and the Choose technology, because there's a lot of free tools available. Like, you all are mostly aware of these digital tools like Slack and G Suite and Trello, but municipal campaigns, we kind of mentioned, are a lot like startups. They're extremely small budgets, and you have to scale extraordinarily quickly over time. And so these tools, there's a lot of digital tools that are freely available or cheap that really help in running campaigns. And here's some courses that we're planning to develop, like Municipal Campaigns 101, Campaign Planning, Campaign Communications, Canvas Data Management, Get Out the Vote. All of those are extremely important. And first-time candidates know very little about them, So, what we want from you guys, please create and complete a profile. We have version 1 of the site, but we're going to be sending out a weekly or monthly, we'll probably start out monthly, but weekly newsletter, email, that will show the new resources that are getting posted, events that are happening in your community, and and so please become a member and tell a friend. Yes, do you want to distribute those? Awesome. Thank you. And then in the fall, we're launching our annual fundraising campaign again to really get this up and going for the 2018 election. Awesome. Q&A. I think I covered everything. Does anyone have any questions? I'll write this one. Yeah.
How many users do you currently have registered?
I don't know. That is a good question. I should check that. I think it's around 100. Around 100.
Yeah, this is awesome. You guys are like really inspiring. you organize very well, and I feel like there's so much to share about how you organize projects as well. But yeah, a real question is, it's interesting that you separated the Democracy Project from DemocracyKit. It's like they're unhinged. And are there any like blue sky plans for like what's next? Crazy things like condo board elections.
Well,
secret ideas?
There are a lot of the Open Democracy Project, we're leaving things kind of open so that we can do other things like the DemocracyKit. We want to keep really focused on local campaigns like school trustee races, and which are huge. Nobody knows anything about, and council campaigns. But the Open Democracy Project, we want to leave it open for other ideas as well. But a lot of the DemocracyKit stuff could also be applied to student elections, like college student elections. It's really transferable skills for most elections. Like our strategic plan, we have a really good strategic plan resource on there that was donated from a guy who was a McKinsey consultant, so it's like super detailed, probably a little too detailed. But that can really be applied to like not-for-profit organizations. It can be applied to a lot of things. So yes, we're just focused on DemocracyKit right now and getting version 2 and a potential conference, maybe.
Can I just add something?
Yeah.
What's also the difference too is like the Open Democracy Project is the community, so we want to create this space where people can talk to each other like all across the country and share resources with each other, whereas DemocracyKit is like just the resource, so we're really working on also building out the community as well.
Yeah, there are tens of thousands of campaigns across Canada that are happening. And imagine if you could connect with someone doing something innovative, someone doing something new, or using a digital tool in a new way. We really want to connect those, because if it makes us all better, or it'll make us all better. It'll raise the standard and hopefully lessen the advantage, again, that political insiders enjoy, because it does no one good. Any more questions?
Councillor Mary Margaret McMahon shares a lot of your values and promised to only run twice. Have you reached out to her for advice or like how to move things along?
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually met with her and she shared her, obviously her belief in term limits and also the sort of struggles she went through as a first-time candidate, and we really took that into consideration when we were looking for content. Because I think we met with her in like October and November. So yeah, we have met with her. And she supports the project too, so it's great.
Holding it like a torch. Pat.
Are you been speaking with other groups maybe doing similar things like other countries, or is there any like cross-border?
We haven't. There's potential. We've been talking with different groups, like runforoffice.org, which is a cool initiative in the States. A lot of cool stuff, grassroots stuff happening in the States. But mostly we've been partnering. We want to partner with people who have existing campaign schools and provide the resources and tracks through our library. Because ideally we want to get so many resources contributed that you can see so many different examples of walk sheets, so many different examples of how someone canvassed or how someone did a communications plan. And then we're going to have core resources that we really are strongly curated and held to a really high standard, and then tracks through the resources that campaign schools to really provide. So like Equal Voice is a really strong partner organization with us because they have they're dedicated to getting women elected to all levels of office, and so there's shared values there. But yeah, we're open to any partner organization.
Thanks. Do you have a target date for the launch of version 2?
Not as of yet. We're like thinking like end of fall, or so we have like we showed that calendar. We have a content kind of development time when we're really dedicated towards that, and that's January to April, kind of like we did last time. So yes, we actually do have a time period. So hopefully we will get that in time for when municipal campaigns in Ontario really start ramping up, because they really start ramping up during the summer, like this time. So yeah, basically a year today.
In the upcoming 2018 election in Toronto, how many candidates are going to get DemocracyKit help, do you think, or do you hope?
Like 3,000. All of them. Well, we want to have it available to everyone because our goal is to, like, candidates have already decided to run, and they should run for reasons that are beyond whether they have the skills or not, like these campaign skills or not. But this is really for the campaign team, for volunteers, for people to serve positions of greater responsibility on campaigns. So we're really kind of dedicated to volunteers and training volunteers, which we will really start ramping up again in the fall, and hopefully have like 150 new volunteers, people who've never gotten involved in politics, and we'll train them and then send them and connect them with campaigns that share the values that they believe. That's our goal.
Last question. My sort of concern right now as a new person here is there was a campaign respect for the taxpayers, and fortunately it was accepted if you're a woman or a senior because we're going to cut your hours if you're in health care, and if you're a senior, you're not a taxpayer, therefore you get less coverage. That's in our homes we've got right now. And I'm just wondering, is we looking at motivating people to get out so that when terminology like when Rob Ford comes out, respect for taxpayer, we can show them that he's lying, he's not respecting the taxpayer, he's hurting us taxpayers?
Yeah, so the status quo favors people who are already in power, people who already hold power, and it doesn't favor obviously people like seniors the power that we do have is votes. That's the biggest power that you have. And the biggest lesson I learned from the States was that It doesn't matter how right you think your ideals were or how right you think your side was. All that matters in politics is winning and losing. And so this is about helping people like seniors organize because their votes matter, and so that they can put pressure or get candidates they want elected to win. Groups that are traditionally marginalized or don't have the advantage that the status quo enjoys, like money and influence. It's a little bit of preaching. Sorry.
Huge thank you to Riley and Micah.